Andrew Mercado. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. To get you in the mood for the new interviews coming soon, here's a classic one I did with Candy Raymond about her guest role in Prisoner. And she's here with Graeme Blundell, her co-star from classic Australian movies, Don's Party and ALVIN Rides Again.
How did you miss being in Prisoner?
I don't know. It became such a sort of camp culty thing that every actor wanted to be in it. And I made off. I said, I'll work for free. I want to be in this cult show. That was very successful as well. But no, I just missed out. There are other actors. I noticed when I was watching the first episode that they're all very Anglo. The voices, you might have noticed, are very, I mean, actors spoke a bit like that in that era. And the men particularly all speak like this, you know, and I had a voice like that, you know.
Yeah.
So it may have been my voice that kept me out.
But you could have played a crim. There was always some guy getting the women
I see all those other
trouble.
shows playing Chris. My brother did it, mate. I didn't do it. So.
Now, Candy, you joined the show in 1981. It was a well-established hit by then. You ended up playing a jail journalist who wasn't. She wasn't a very nice person.
No, she was in there to get a story from the character Judy Bryant.
Yeah.
And had herself put in by getting parking fines.
Yeah. How did you find it joining? The show was quite well established there. The actors were long-running actors. A lot of actors talk about it not being a particularly friendly set. Did you find it okay?
It was neither friendly or unfriendly, really. They were a cabal of people who'd been working together for years. So obviously they had made tight friendships, full-timers. And they were not unpleasant to the short-timers.
Yeah.
But neither did they engage particularly because
they were a tough bunch of broads. Let's be honest. They were all most of them were very experienced theatre actors that endured years of privation and humiliation, and they become big stars in Australia, and they made everyone suffer.
So, no, darling, Elspeth Ballantyne couldn't possibly do that. Maggie
she was gracious.
Kirkpatrick,
Yeah,
fabulous.
Meg Morris, and Elspeth Ballantyne was the only actor to go in it from the first episode to the very last episode.
Yes,
but I mean, it was unusual. We've never really had a show ever in Australian TV history with this many women. I mean, this was a predominantly female cast, wasn't it?
A first in Australia, and I think part of the secret of its success in that it was women of all ages and their stories, not their function in relation to men, but the stories of the women. There was no glamour, there was no nudity.
Yes. And when you say there was no glamour, in the 80s they were sort of moving into this sort of dynasty, big-shouldered thing and all of that. But in Prisoner, they kept things fairly minimal. Minimal makeup, I remember?
Yes, minimal makeup, minimal money.
Yeah.
We got a new nickname for you. It's old B's idea. Want to know what it is? Vinegar tits. Hey, how about that, eh? Vinegar tits.
You really are the most uncouth slut, Doyle.
Oh, don't blame me, Vera. It's old B's idea.
Does the show still hold up, Graeme, or do we watch it today as a bit of a cult curio, I guess?
I think we do, but it's like all the repeats circling around now on digital, the commercial freeware digital channels. We've seen them all many times, but they become...
You mean the American repeats?
The American, but also the local shows too, but even the American repeats, they become kind of personal signifiers. You know, I watch I Love Lucy or Here's Lucy, which is, I think, is the oldest one showing, and I can remember watching that in William Wonder's electrical store in Preston, in Melbourne.
Yeah,
so
in a shop window.
In a shop window, before we had television. So that brings back that whole era to me. So you can kind of trace your life, your first marriage, your first affair, the first adultery, the second marriage, through all these shows that cycle around. And this show is so kind of emblematic of that period. It's a wonderful time capsule. The way they speak, the way they look, the way they act, the way it's directed, sort of so strangely flat on. And it's quite mesmerising for all the awfulness of the production values. It is totally mesmerising because it situates you back in another era so specifically.
Yeah. Look, I still think the show's going to be incredibly successful. There's always feels like there's a new generation out there that hasn't seen Prisoner. As soon as they start watching, they get hooked again. And you guys, great to have you on the show, having acted together in Don's Party, which I saw the sequel the other night, Don Party's On. Sadly, your characters didn't make the final card.
No, we didn't. No value in us, but it was fantastic.
It was.